Does a former president enjoy absolute immunity from prosecution for actions taken while in office? This question, previously a topic of debate, has now ignited a firestorm of controversy. It stems from the Supreme Court's decision to entertain arguments on Trump's claim of absolute immunity in several election interference allegations and classified documents cases. This question has sparked a national outrage and has led to the Supreme Court's decision to hear arguments on this matter. The Supreme Court's decision didn't come out of the blue. The journey to this moment started with the tumultuous 2020 election, followed by the shocking Capitol riot on January 6, 2021, that some characterize as insurrection. Allegations of conspiracy, obstruction, and interference in the electoral process have been swirling around like a political storm, with former President Donald Trump at its center. The legal battle intensified when the U.S. Supreme Court agreed to review whether Trump has immunity from prosecution in a federal election interference case. This appeal was fast-tracked, with oral arguments scheduled for late April and a ruling expected by late June. As a result, Trump's criminal trials are now put on hold, pending the ruling by the Supreme Court of this crucial matter. The essence of the case is determining whether a former president enjoys immunity from criminal prosecution for official and unofficial acts. What is the boundary between official and unofficial acts? Trump, facing 4 felony counts for allegedly conspiring to overturn the election results, has pleaded not guilty in all instances. His legal strategy has been focused on delay, seeking to postpone trials until after the November election. The Supreme Court's decision to take up the case has had a significant impact on the timeline of events. Trial court proceedings have remained frozen as the Supreme Court prepares to hear arguments in late April. This delay is a strategic move, a compromise between the special counsel and Trump's legal team, aimed at reaching a decision before the end of the court's current term in late June. The Supreme Court's decision to hear arguments on Trump's immunity claim has brought these matters to a standstill. As we wait for the court's ruling, it's clear that the events leading up to this decision have reshaped the legal and political landscape in unprecedented ways. The Supreme Court's decision to hear arguments on Trump's immunity claim has sparked a fierce debate. On one side of the ring, we have those who believe that this is a strategic and best move to solve Trump's claims. They argue that by taking this unprecedented step, the Supreme Court is acknowledging the gravity of the accusations and ensuring that the rule of law is upheld. They see this as a necessary process to clarify the boundaries of presidential power and immunity. After all, if a former president can claim immunity from prosecution for actions taken while in office, where does that leave our democracy? On the flip side, there are those who view this decision as a major hurdle in Trump's trial schedule. They argue that this is simply a stalling tactic, a way to delay the inevitable. After all, the trial proceedings have been frozen until the Supreme Court reaches a decision, which is not expected until late June. This delay, they argue, is a strategic move by Trump's legal team to buy more time, potentially pushing any trials until after the November election. And then there's the middle ground. Those who are unsure about the implications of this decision. They worry about the precedent it might set for future presidents and the potential for abuse of power it might encourage. They ask, should a president be immune from prosecution for actions taken while in office, even if those actions are potentially criminal? The Supreme Court's decision has opened a Pandora's box of legal and political debates. The Supreme Court's decision has far-reaching implications. Let's consider the impact of this decision on Trump's legal and political future. If the Supreme Court rules in favor of Trump's claim of immunity, it could potentially shield him from prosecution for actions taken while in office. This would be a significant precedent, as it would essentially establish that any former president could claim immunity from criminal prosecution for official acts. This could greatly affect the balance of power in our country, as it would set a legal precedent that could be exploited by future presidents. On the flip side, if the Supreme Court rules against Trump's claim of immunity, it would clear the path for his trials to proceed. Not only would this have immediate implications for Trump, who is facing multiple criminal charges in different states, but it would also set a precedent that even the highest office in the land is not above the law. This could serve as a significant deterrent for any future leaders who might consider abusing their powers. The decision could also impact Trump's election prospects. If the court rules in his favor, it could potentially boost his popularity among his base, who see these legal challenges as politically motivated. However, if he loses, it could damage his image and undermine his chances in any future elections. The impact of this decision extends beyond Trump. It could shape how future presidents conduct themselves in office, knowing that their actions could potentially be subject to criminal prosecution once they leave office. This could lead to more cautious and law-abiding behaviors, but it could also deter individuals from seeking the presidency, fearing potential legal repercussions. As for potential future prosecution, the decision could either open or close the door for Trump to face legal consequences for his actions. A ruling in his favor could effectively shut down current and future lawsuits against him, while a ruling against him could expose him to a wave of legal challenges that could tie him up in court for years to come. As the nation waits for the Supreme Court's ruling, one thing is clear: its decision will have a profound impact on the legal and political landscape of the United States. Following the Supreme Court's decision, we must also consider the impeachment process against Trump and the decision of the three judges panel. This significant event added another layer to this unfolding saga. In January 2021, an impeachment process was initiated against Trump for his alleged role in inciting the insurrection at the U.S. Capitol. This was a historic moment, as Trump became the first U.S. president to be impeached twice by the House of Representatives. The impeachment trial, however, ended in acquittal in the Senate, with the majority but not the required two-thirds of senators voting to convict. This was a significant event, as it demonstrated the deep political divisions within our country. But what does this mean for Trump's legal battle and the Supreme Court's decision? A three-judges panel, in a separate but related case, ruled against Trump's claim of immunity. They stated that a sitting president is not immune from criminal investigation, a decision that could potentially influence the Supreme Court's ruling. The implications of this decision are significant. If the Supreme Court upholds the panel's decision, it would mean that a sitting president could be held accountable for their actions while in office. This would not only impact Trump's legal battle, but could also shape the future conduct of the presidency. As we continue to delve into this legal and political drama, it's clear that the impeachment process and the decision of the three judges panel have added another layer of complexity. Whether these events will influence the Supreme Court's final decision, only time will tell.
Really consequential update from the Supreme Court with regard to Trump's immunity case. Can you speak about this announcement?
So we just learned that the Supreme Court will grant review of Donald Trump's baseless claim that he has absolute immunity against prosecution for crimes he committed while in office. So the way I would summarize what this means is it means the Supreme Court has just sold American democracy down the river.
Thanks for watching. If you like it, comment and hit the like and share buttons. Subscribe for future videos.